Hey, beautiful human beings. Welcome back. Thank you so much for your encouragement and love from my video yesterday. I really appreciate it. Love you guys. That was really sweet. All the nice likes and hearts and all the other things. Yeah, appreciate that. Anyhow, I was trying to think of what I was gonna talk about today, and I think I noticed something in the comments which makes me want to tell a bit of a story. So let's tell a story. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're full of love and gratitude and acceptance and forgiveness. Anyhow, gotta lose the ums. It's such a hard thing to do. Just silence instead of ums. That's right. Um, love it. So I went overseas a few years ago and I ended up in Bali and then Thailand, then Bali again, then back home. And while I was traveling, I've got this like kind of like an addiction to deeper conversations. Like I don't like to do the shallow stuff. I'd rather not talk most of the time, not listen if it's going to be quite a shallow conversation. But everywhere that I was going, when I was meeting people, they're just like, "What's your name? How long have you been here? Where are you from?" And at one point I decided to just like step into my vulnerability because I was around like a group of people, and like I talked about how just like it's so empty, these experiences of meeting so many people, no one's going to remember anyone's name or where they're from or whatever. Like it's kind of like irrelevant. It's just like this thing that people do, and maybe I'm not smart enough to understand it, but that's who I am. Why that's not supposed to say this is hard. So anyway, I stepped into my vulnerability and had all that sort of stuff and managed to make a connection with some people and all that sort of stuff. And it was really, really nice. And I'm like, okay, well, this is like the cure for getting past this conversation is to turn around, step into my vulnerability and be like, hey, I'm actually not interested in having this type of chat. I prefer deeper chats, blah, 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 etc., etc. But at some point, I realized it just kept happening and happening and happening, and I realized that I could turn into a bit of a game. And so my game was, is people will be like, "So, what's your name? Where you from? How long you been here?" I'm just like, "Oh well, I'm someone, somewhere, sometime. Like that's my name." And it's always funny because you get like one of three reactions. Uh, One of them would be like, "Oh yeah, I'm someone too. It's nice to meet you." It was just like, wicked, they get it. And other people were just like, "No, what's your name? What is your name?" And they'll be like really grilling me over what my actual name was. And I'll be like, "You're not entitled to my name." Like I said, someone because I wanted a more deeper conversation. It's like, if this doesn't work for you though, like that's all good. And the third one I get was, this is real funny, where like you'd say it, they'd register it, they'd be like, they'll look at you, they'd be like existential crisis in their head, and then their eyes would just like dart away and they'd just like walk off as quickly as possible. And so I'm like, well, that's entertaining to me. This saves me a whole heap of time. I don't have to like waste my energy now having these conversations that I never want to have. And so one stage I meet this group, it's like 12 people or something, and they're all cool with my name or they appear that way. And walking home from some bar in the north of Thailand at Pai, and I'm walking back by myself in the dark, and over my shoulder I hear someone, and I go to turn my head, and I just like freeze, and I just like have this very quick like existential crisis of like, who am I? Am I someone, or am I my old name? And then I'm like, nah, I'm embracing this. I am someone. So I turn around and like have a chat and all that sort of stuff, and like lots of time passes and they never get to find out my name. Oh, actually no, in a leaving letter I got to tell them what my actual name was. But anyhow, I got home and it's just like harassing me like consistently, be like, you should legally change your name to someone. you should legally change your name to someone. And I'm like, I don't think that's a stupid idea. That is ridiculous. Probably not even legal. Like, forget it. Like, give it a year of thinking about it, and see how it falls. 6 months. Just change your name. That'd be funny. If you could get away with it, you should give it a shot. They were saying. No, there's probably all these like negative repercussions, all that sort of stuff. Carries on, carries on, carries on. A long time passes. I think maybe 2 years, and it's just like, nah, I'm just trying to do it. I can't stop thinking about it. Like, it's neurotically like harassing me every occasion. Clearly not that interested with life at the moment. I need some entertainment. So begins the documentation to like births, deaths, and marriages and so forth. They actually changed my name to Someone NoOne, and first name, last name, Someone NoOne, Mr NoOne. Yeah, and I love telling the story. So anyway, I send the stuff off, and they're like, it usually takes 3 months. It's like bang, right on like it took, I think five. No, it took longer. It took longer than 3 months. It was like 3.5 months later. I get like a letter, email back saying, please fill out this BDM 15 or whatever form, describing the meaning behind Someone NoOne, and I'm just like, okay. So I go, oh well, I'm going to have to be a little bit more serious about this. I'm going to have to like look up the legislation and so forth. And the legislation said like a bunch of stuff about it's not allowed to be too long, and it's not allowed to be have any characters in it, and it's not allowed to be like a title like a Sir or Dane or King or anything like that. And I'm like, it doesn't fall under that so far. But it also said that like it can't be undesirable in public interest. And yeah, so I looked up the law and so forth and stuff, and it said it can't be used if it might cause offence to a reasonable person, or is unreasonably long, or without adequate justification if it includes it includes or resembles an official title or rank. And I'm like, oh sweet, well, it is confusing. But like I asked a bunch of people, I'm like, is this name offensive to you? It's like, no, it's just confusing. It doesn't make any sense. And I was like, so of course I wrote this letter, and they asked me for pointing out the legislation that basically I don't understand why I have to justify it, considering that it doesn't fall as an illegal name that requires justification under your law. And then wrote another 5 pages, of course, of like trying to explain separation is an illusion, gets to avoid shallow conversations, etc., etc., etc. It goes on and on and on, just like ranting and so forth. It ends with one of my favorite poems, Please Call Me by My True Names. Beautiful poem. Anyway, get it all sent off. Another like 8 weeks later, I'm like, this is taking a long time. It's supposed to be like 3 months, been over 3 months plus all these other weeks. And I get a piece of mail, and it's got a piece of cardboard, and I open it up. It's a piece of A4. I like open it up. It's got a piece of cardboard, so nothing like crinkles or flexes or whatever. And then there is a new birth certificate for Someone NoOne. My immediate reaction is just like, oh, I've done something really, really naughty. I'm in lots and lots of trouble. And then I just start like laughing and laughing and laughing. And that was like maybe 8 or 9 months ago. So yeah, I always wanted to be someone, and now I am. Yeah, but it's so funny how much we're capable of actually like playing with the absurdity of reality, even within the confinements of the law. And what fundamentally within those confinements what we can get away with. And yeah, it's been pretty funny since. Quite often people, when I tell people, they're just like, are you taking the piss? And I'm just like, well, number one, I'm being honest with you, but also, yes, I'm taking the piss. yeah, that's something that's clearly like important to me is just how absurd life is, how beautiful it is, and how grateful I am to be stupid, immature, enough of a muppet. Go, what's the worst thing that's gonna happen? And call myself someone. Yeah, it's got a lot of relation to the unconscious and how separation's an illusion and stuff. But yeah, it means a lot to me. Anyhow, that's enough. I think that's enough for a second video. We'll see what day 3 brings. I love you so much. Thank you so much for your kindness. And then thank you for your meanness, because everything's a good time or a good lesson. And if we're learning, we're growing. And if we're growing, we're winning. So we're either winning or winning. Okay, see ya.